Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Karen's Kitchen. I'm back. Got my water and everything. My son came yesterday. I bought the water heater at Home Depot. He went and put it in for me. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Alexis. He came and put it in for me. We went to get it, and he put it in for me, and it saved me $1,200. It saved me over $1,000 getting it done by him because Home Depot wanted $1,200 to do everything, and that's ridiculous. So he saved it. So he didn't want me to pay the money out, and I didn't want to pay it out. So now I've got water. So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. First of all, I'm going to take a tablespoon of my... I'm going to put this down so you can see what's in my pot. I keep forgetting that. I got to follow Alexis's lead. Okay, show you what's in... I'm using the stock pot, the 5-quart. Because I don't think everything's going to fit in my 2-quart. So I'm going to put and I'm going to heat up the oil. And that's a tablespoon of oil. So at least now I don't have to worry about running water and not having enough water to do anything with. I'm going to put this olive oil back. It says the heat oil. It says in a saucepan, but I use my stock pot. Add the garlic, shallots, and pepper flakes. Well, I'm going to, I didn't have a shallot. Couldn't find any shallots. Oh, boy, it's right on time. You got that right. It says garlic, and everybody knows I use the garlic press. So I'm going to heat that up, and I'm going to get the garlic ready. And then I'm going to cut. Couldn't find any shallots at the store, so they said you can use yellow onion in place of it. It's a pretty big onion. So what I did is I just cut the onion up in quarters and another small section of a quarter to make it like it'd be enough onion. You can see, look at this coming out. Take the back of your knife. And I like to use the Barbie brush, the handle of the Barbie brush, to get that out of there. And that's what I like about this. The garlic press it should be your go-to. If you use a lot of garlic, you should use this because you do not have to peel your garlic. Everything else you have to peel it first, and you do not have to peel it with this. This gets a little tough sometimes getting it through there, but I think it's enough now. So I'm going to get my... Probably put the garlic in there too soon, but I wanted to kind of save time a little bit. And you just take the brush and just pull the garlic out. And when you can, it's like Alexa showed before. To clean out the inside, you just take your Barbie brush, put it in the holes in the back, and it's a trick to getting it right. See, and it pokes everything through so you can clean it much better because it doesn't always get everything coming out, and there you have it. Put that right there. Okay, I'm going to try to get, let's see, get this a little warm. I should have got the olive oil hot first, but it don't take long to get hot anyway. I've got it sitting on medium. I had it on before I came in here, so okay. I'm going to do that. Add the garlic. Then I had the shallots and I got some pepper flakes. It says to use a teaspoon of them, but I'm only going to use a half a teaspoon because I don't like anything real hot. So I'm going to try it. I don't know how it's going to be, but I'm going to try it. I took my onion, as you can see, and I put it into smaller slices so I can use the onion chopper. Everybody knows about this. If you don't have the onion chopper, I suggest you get this. There's parties going on now. Get the onion chopper. It's a very good thing for chopping up your onion. Makes fast work of everything. Of course, it'll chop up veggies as well. So, and you can hit it as many times as you want to get it as fine as you want. I like to hit it a few times, and I get mine as fine as I can get it. And this comes apart real easy to wash it. I'll just leave it together for right now. But it comes apart to wash it. And let me take this and throw it away. I'll be right back. I can blow my nose first. You know, it really feels good to have water again because it started leaking after you hooked it up last night. The hot water was leaking, so he was trying to get it as tight as he could. He says for me to keep monitoring it and see if it leaks. Well, when I took a shower this morning, it was still not leaking, so it's doing real good. So hopefully it won't leak. Okay, I'm going to add the onion And then I'm going to add the pepper flakes too, but I think before I do that, I'm going to do it this way. And I've seen Alexis do this too. This makes it a lot simpler just to do it this way. And as you can see, this mat is getting pretty beat up. I'm going to have to change the mats pretty soon. But hi, good to see you. Welcome. This is getting pretty beat up. First of all, before I go any further, let me go ahead and share this out. If I can share it out. Try to share it out cockeyed here. Well, whoop. Don't want to do that. I gotta put that up. There we go. It went down on me. I did to stop. Nope, it keeps going down on me to stop the broadcast, and I don't want to do that. Pull it up. It's so hard to share it. Let me do it this way. Maybe I can get it. There we go. I got it. Hi, Arlene. Welcome. I'm just getting started, so you haven't missed much. I'm just trying to share this out right now. And as Alexis knows, it's hard to share when you're looking down, you're looking up at your phone is almost facing straight up and down almost. And I've got my onion in there, and I've got my garlic, and I've got the oil, as you can hear it's going. Now, let's see what else I need. And the pepper flakes. And it calls for a teaspoon of pepper flakes, but what I'm going to do is I'm only going to put a half a teaspoon in. I think that's sufficient because I don't like anything real hot. And these are the stackable spoons. Remember I told you one day I couldn't find them all? I finally found them all. So I kind of stack them together. So I'm just going to use a half a teaspoon. I think that's sufficient because if you don't like anything real hot, you kind of make sure that you don't get it real hot. As I said, I was going to cut it in half, and that was what I was going to do. Okay. Put this up here. No. And saute until fragrant. About 2 minutes, it says. Oh my! Saute until fragrant. Oh, you got 2 sets? I'm going to do this. I'll set this for 2 minutes. So, all right, I'll do this. Of course, this onion is not the sweet onion. They suggest not to use sweet onion in this, but I'm going to go ahead and just, So I'm just going to saute this for 2 minutes, and no, I have not either. I know you haven't, Alexis, and I keep checking on the website, and it keeps saying not available. So I don't know if they've shipped it and just haven't given you the information or what. But I checked this morning. Could go on my account, and it says not available. Or, So I don't know. I don't know when they're going to ship it out. I would have thought they were going to ship it out yesterday. And, I'm getting anxious to get it. And why they haven't shipped it out yet is anybody's guess. They know what they're doing, I suppose. But as my daughter's waiting to get her pots and pans, I'm waiting to get my stuff. I'm waiting to get that quick cooker so I can use it. But, I have to be patient. Oh, you're getting freezing rain? Well, I woke up this morning and there was a trace of snow on the ground. My dogs didn't know what to make of the snow. They wanted to roll around in it. There was not that much to roll around in. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Put some fire on the Turtle Express. You're right. You're right, Alexis, because I'm supposed to get mine first, but I don't see it happening. They haven't shipped it out yet. They haven't shipped anybody's out. I don't see it happening because it's going to come slow enough as it is anyway. I don't understand it. Hawaii can get theirs faster than I can. There's something to that, So we just have to bear with it. They'll get it ready to go. And they'll ship it out when they can. Yeah, I am too. I came on yesterday thinking that I wasn't going to have water for a while, but thankfully my son decided that he was going to help me out, and he went with me to get it, and he installed it for me, which he's never installed before, but he did fine. Okay, now we've got to add thyme and dill and cook for another 30 seconds or more. Okay, now I got to see how much thyme I need here. I think it's half a teaspoon of dried thyme and half a teaspoon of dill. Okay. And then 30 seconds more. Okay. So I'll set that for 30 seconds. I like to make sure I do this right. Okay. Yeah. So I don't overdo. So, well, you're gonna have to you're probably gonna have to put a fire under them too, Alexis, because I don't know what's going on. I mean, you submitted it before the end of the month, and I would have thought that by yesterday they would have shipped them out. And it's kind of disappointing they didn't, but you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to get angry with them because they know what they're doing, but I don't understand why it's not coming yet. But you know, there's not much I can do about that. All right. Now to the saucepan, add quinoa. Okay, I've got my quinoa already measured out. It's uncooked, so you have to add a cup of uncooked quinoa. All right. Whoa. I think I flipped all more on my. I'll get clean up on my stove. Books I got in there anyway. I don't have any olives, and I got sun-dried tomatoes. I didn't buy any olives, so I'm leaving those out. And the sun-dried tomatoes, there is a half a cup of chopped sun-dried tomatoes. Oh, let me set this for half a cup. I looked for olives today, but I don't think that I really need to use olives anyway. I don't really care for them that well, so. Sun-dried tomatoes are really good. Whoa, getting the juice all over. Well, it's better on the counter than on the floor. I'll clean it right up. A cook's going to make some mistakes. A cook's going to always make a mess. I know I do. I make a mess like the most of them. Okay. All right. Now I'll put this in here. All right, there we go. Right here, I'll clean this up just a little bit. There we go. Try to keep it from getting too all over everything. Set those there for right now. Now, stir continuously for 15 to 30 seconds. Okay. I'll just kind of guess. And then you're going to have to, and then you have to add the liquids and drain to a boil, which I will do that. Now it calls for 2 cups of, a cup of broth and maybe a cup of water. But I'm going to, and they said, oh, you can use 2 cups of broth. And I've got 2 cups here, so I'm going to go ahead and use 2 cups of, I got to get this ready. To measure out my 2 cups of broth. It can be tricky to get together again sometimes. This is all clean, but I'm trying to get it back together again. Oh, it was real hard when I first got it. Okay, there we go. Now, I believe there's 2 cups in here because I used a half before. Yep, just right. Just the right amount. Bring to a boil, then cover and reduce to simmer for 20 to 25 minutes. Okay. Got to bring it to a boil, and then I will cover it and simmer it for 20 to 25 minutes, so I can do that. Let's see if I can pick up some of this quinoa, otherwise it'll get thrown out. It's easy to make a mess when you're trying to flip that, and it gets all over everything. Quinoa's that way anyway. I'll let this come to a boil, and then Then I kind of add chickpeas and spinach. While this is trying to come to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Did I add my? Yeah, today I got to see what I. Because I know it's supposed to have salt in it. Maybe that's the last thing. Well, it says, oh, just salt and pepper to taste. I can probably put that in at the very last. Okay, while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead. And I'm going to chop up the spinach. See how much spinach I need? A cup of spinach. Okay. I'll just take my chef's knife and I'll use this. This thing is very, very sharp. So if you get this thing, just watch your fingers. Do not get your fingers into it. I probably could use the onion chopper on this too, maybe. I could try that. I don't know if that'll work on that. We'll try it. Let me try that. Might save myself a little time here. I haven't tried it with spinach, but you never know. This might work. Not too much. I don't know if you've ever tried it, Alexis, but I'm trying anything once. Well, it did chop it up. It got a couple leaves there. I could make them a little smaller. Or put this back up in there. Do it again. There we go. There we go. It does kind of chop it up a little bit. So you well, it never worked, but I'm trying it right now, Earlene. I thought I would. You're seeing me do it right here. I'm just putting a few of these in here, and you don't put much under here, and I'm trying to chop it. You see, it is chopping it. It is chopping it, so it does work. I'm trying to get it as fine as I can get it. I may not get it real fine, but I'm trying to do it, you know. I'm willing to try anything once, you know. If you've got the onion chopper, you might as well try it and see if it's going to work. Why not? You know, I'm just going to chop a little bit at a time and put it in my measuring cup just to make sure that I don't do too much. I think my dog's waiting for spinach to drop on the floor so she can get some of it. I don't think she'll like it, but I think that dog will eat about anything. Just like Alexis says, Cooper probably eat about anything. Dogs are that way. They'll eat more than we think they will. It's a little trick to get these. Break that up a little bit. I think I'll break these leaves off a little bit and try to put the end. So that way it'll be easier to do this. Break them up a little bit. There we go. You see, it is working. It is chopping it up. Well, now you know the onion chopper will chop up spinach. I figured, well, it's a chopper, it's an onion chopper, but why not try it for everything else? You know, saves you time. You know, I mean, I could have done it with the chef's knife, but I thought, well, might as well just go ahead and put that over there so I don't get cut on it. And might as well try this and see if it's going to work. Why not? You know, still got to wash it anyway. You know, it does make a little mess, but you know, there, it's looking pretty good. Put this up so I don't get food on it. There. Just breaking these, trying to break the leaves off a little bit, so I don't have the stems. I mean, the stems to kind of put them through the chopper. It'd be a lot easier if the stems were not sticking out. Kind of cut them up a little bit, chop them up a little bit, just like that. And I'm gonna take that over there. Put this in here and see how much is in here now. As you can see, it really makes a mess. It doesn't. So I'll try to do the best I can getting this in here. It's got a lot of moisture to it, so that's all right. Now I'm all green. That's all right. It's coming along. So you guys are watching me do something that even I've never seen Alexis do in her Periscope. Well, let me be the first to chop up spinach with the onion chopper. I figured, why not try it? If it doesn't work, then I know it. Then I know not to do it again. But I figured, try it once. It'll save you a lot of work. You know, the knife probably would have worked fine, but I wanted to try it with the onion chopper since I've already got it out. Might as well just try it and see how it'll work. Get these stems off of here. You want to save everything. You don't want to throw it away. I'm just getting the stems off a little easier to put it under the chopper. But the trick to this chopper is, and Alexis can tell you the same thing, not to put too much underneath it. You got to make sure that you do enough that it goes under there, not too much. we go. Oh, there, I brought it to a boil. Oh. Okay, now I got to get my lid out, and I got to simmer it, I think for, reduce to simmer for 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, let me do that. Okay, and I'll put this on 25 minutes. Let me get my lid out. All right. Whoops, wrong one. I always grab the wrong one. I grabbed the one for the 12-inch skillet. I just had this lid. I just put it back a little bit ago. Okay. Now I'm going to put you up here so I can let that go. Now you can still see what I'm doing, I think, a little bit. Oh, I see somebody just got muted. You know something? It's like Alexa said. You mute them, they're in jail. To me, you mute them, they're in jail. But if you block them, they're in outer space. They're gone. They're goodbye. Like I said, be sure and go through your profile every day to make sure that people aren't following you that you don't want. Like Charles Diano, that guy has so doggone many usernames. He has so many accounts that you can't keep up with them all. Alexis had to block him again the other day. Then he started following me. He was following me and came into my Periscope on Sabbath, and I couldn't get him off because he was coming out of Twitter, I think it was, and I couldn't block him, and I was and his name didn't show up on the list either. So I was, betwixt and between. There wasn't anything I could do. So I'll just break it up. Okay, it should be a whole cup. There should be enough in here. Wash my hands, and I'm going to get them dirty again. Oh well, because I've got to take this, put this under the sink. That's close enough to a cup. Maybe not exactly, but it's close enough. I'm not going to bother getting any more out because it's a lot of work. So just leave that alone. Okay, I'm going to take and scrape this off into my garbage container. I'll be right back. Be right with you. I'm trying to clean this mat off a little bit. Oh, I gotta wash my cupboard. Wash my counter off, as you can see. Gotta do that. And I'm making sure I keep all any food particles on the other side so I can pick them up and throw them in the garbage, because my garbage disposal doesn't work, and otherwise, and my dishwater will never go down the sink and go down the drain if that's gets food particles in it. So I'm trying to be very careful and scrape everything really good, trying to get rid of everything and throw this away. All right. Clean it a little bit more. Now, there's always a lot of work to do to clean up your counters and stuff. I don't have dishes to do today, but that'll be good because I got water anyway to do it. So there we go. So now I can talk to you guys for a little bit. What's everybody having to eat today for supper? What you gonna fix? Everybody knows this will be my lunch, and after this I won't eat anything the rest of the day. So, you having anything special for supper? What do you like? I mean, what is your favorite food? I can ask you that. What is your favorite food? I know some of you have a favorite, and some I'm one of these kind that I like just about anything. I don't really have a favorite as far as food is concerned. I just eat what I like. And what I don't, I forget it. I won't eat it. So I know everybody's got a favorite food. Now, chicken noodle soup and garlic bread. Oh, chicken noodle soup. You know, chicken noodle soup was always so good. I used to eat that as a child. Well, being I'm vegan, I don't eat chicken in that anymore. But as a child, I used to eat a lot of chicken noodle soup, especially when I got sick. That and which I don't drink anymore, is ginger ale. Ginger ale is real good for an upset stomach. I drank that all the time when I was a kid to take away the upset stomach. Yeah, too many foods I like too. I know, sweetie, I know. Pork chops and salad. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. Yeah, there's too many foods I like too. You know, I'm not picky on most foods. I can eat almost anything. But like I said, comes to hominy or some certain things. Hominy is one of them. Hominy and liver, can forget it. Wow. You know, I know everybody likes certain foods, and everybody likes the same thing. You know, and I like to get a feel for what people really like. And I know Earlene, she's probably already got her supper already planned out. And if you haven't joined Karen's Vegan Heaven, go in there and join it. Hi, Deb. Good to see you. Because Earlene posts quite a few recipes in there. She did this morning. And if you're following Alexis and you have never followed her, go ahead and follow her and join her Facebook group, her Pampered Chef Facebook group. And by all means, she's our consultant. Be sure and order something. We have some parties going on now. I'll have a party coming on again next month. My daughter will be having one coming up in about a week or so. Yeah, I know you're still working, but I know you're still here, Alexis. That's why I'm promoting you, because you're still here. If anybody's not following Alexis, follow her. She's in here right now. Go to her profile, click on her profile, and if you want to be a host, let her know. If you want to be a consultant, let her know. Yeah, my daughter's going to have a party on the 17th of this month. Oh, you're a little picky. You don't have a fave, but you like spaghetti. I think everybody likes spaghetti, you know. And there is a spaghetti out there that I don't know if anybody's ever seen it, but it's the type of spaghetti where it fits your pot, because the spaghetti is so long. Well, they got the kind now you don't have to break it up. It fits your pot. I like to get that spaghetti, although I haven't had spaghetti in ages. Zucchini spaghetti. Oh, yum, 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 yum. Yes, zucchini spaghetti. You can make that with a julienne. You can take the zucchini like Alexa showed with the zucchini or the julienne peeler. You can make zucchini julienne and make noodles out of it. Zoodles, they call it. What a novel idea. Make zoodles, you know, and put it in a salad even. Oh, thank you so much. I wasn't in here yesterday because I didn't have any water because my water heater was leaking. What a mess. My son was here, came at 4 o'clock yesterday, went to the Home Depot to get it picked out. And by the time we got back, it was probably 5 o'clock or so. It took him 2 hours to get that hooked up. For one thing, we couldn't get the water out of the old water heater. It was so much sediment in the bottom, it wouldn't drain out. So he had to take the thing and walk it back and forth in the garage till he got it out on the driveway, and then flipped it on its side so the water would run out. What a mess. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you so much. What a mess to get that water out of there. Man. But he got the other one hooked up and got it working fine. And he asked me, he called me this morning, wanted to make sure I had hot water. I says, oh, yeah, I sure did. Really hot water. So it's great to have a nice new water heater again. I don't have to worry about it ever going, this one for a long time, rusting out at the bottom. Oh, thank you so much. That's what I am, a vegan, and I try to do my best. There's people in here that aren't vegan, but they love eating, they love in my scopes. Alexis is not vegan, but yet she comes into my scopes. I'm vegan and she's not, but yet I go into her scopes when I can and watch hers. I watch her replays. Oh, 24, now I'm down to 13. Wow. Losing weight is hard. Very, very hard. I started at 250 and it's been, thank you so much. You know, I find a lot of my recipes on Pinterest. I'm very selective because I do vegan foods, so I have to search for vegan recipes. But I'm very selective because I'll go down and I'll find a recipe I might want to try. So I'll go and click on it and look at the recipe. If there's something in there that seems like it's going to be a little alarming or something that's going to take forever to do, I just say, well, I'll skip that one and go to another one. Because I only do the ones that I really want to do. The ones that I find that are best. Somebody can get that. That's a bot. If you don't get it, I can mute it. If it's somebody, one of my moderators, mute that for me. Thank you. Thank you, Erlene. Oh, okay. If you're interested in the recipes, no, I haven't. About 2 years I've been vegan because I was a vegetarian before that. I ate meat, I ate eggs, I drank milk, and I ate dairy cheese. But I don't eat meat or the eggs, milk, or the cheese anymore because it's not good for me. So but I've only been 2 years at it. Approximately 2 years. It's hard to remember exactly when I got started. Sometime last year. I can't remember exactly when, but it's after a year before actually. It's been hard. I started at 250 and it's been a slow process. You don't put it on overnight and you can't take it off overnight. That's for sure. Why did you become vegan? Because I felt it was healthier for me. That's why I did. Yes, I know it's the best change in my life too. Well, I didn't like the way I looked for one thing. All my clothes were big on me. And now that I've lost a lot of weight, I can put clothes on and I see that they're almost form-fitting. And they're a lot smaller on me because my clothes size has changed and I'm so happy about that. Because it was a long time in coming, but I knew that I would finally get there and I finally did. It was a long time in coming. Anybody can do it if they put their mind to it. I know not everybody's going to become vegan. Like I said, Alexis is not vegan, but I like to go in her scopes and watch hers. She likes to come in mine because a lot of times the things I make vegan, you wouldn't know they're vegan anyway because it's some of the same things you have in your house, like spinach, like this. This can be for non-vegans as well because you got spinach and you got quinoa and you got your chickpeas. That can be for anybody. You don't have to be vegan to eat any of that. Just tell yourself that you can do it and you will do it. I'm going to check it on this and see how it's doing. Oh, I probably could have used my sauce pot. I didn't know it was not going to, the water's almost out of here, but I'm going to I might have to add a little more water maybe. Let's see what this says. So it says liquid has been absorbed. I should have put in for 20 minutes instead of 25. I'm just going to keep watching this. The liquid has been absorbed, but I want to make sure the quinoa is good and cooked. See, you can see that it's getting there. It's getting there. So it's pretty much all absorbed right now. I've got it on simmer too. So it's actually, with this pan, I think it takes a lot less time to get it. I might go a little bit longer, but I'm going to keep my eyes open because I sure don't want to burn it. Do not want to burn it at all. Anyway, yeah, this is a good meal. I should have used my saucepan. I thought it was going to be too small. But, that's okay. You can see in my stock pot, I just have a bigger thing to wash. But I love Pampered Chef. I use as much of it as I possibly can because they have good quality products. They have products that are a lifetime guarantee. However, these mats are not. These mats here are not a lifetime guarantee. These are gonna get scratched up, but it's better to scratch up your mats than scratch up your counter, for sure. Because if you ruin your counter, $10,000-$15,000 to replace a counter. Who wants to do that? I know I don't. So it's better to have a mat down here because that's. I've been watching Alexis enough, and when I bought these mats, yeah, I haven't got rid of it yet. I'm going to get the quick cooker from Pampered Chef, and it's just a matter of time before they decide to ship the stuff out. when I get the quick cooker, I can use Instant Pot recipes, because there's some that I found on Pinterest that I want to do in here that take less time at all. I've been watching YouTube videos on the quick cooker, and it's amazing how nice that thing really is, how it works. You know, I think I know what is wrong with my Instant Pot. I watched the same Instant Pot I got. I watched a YouTube video on it, on the steam release and stuff. Their thing, I'll show you what I'm talking about if I can get that off. This thing here is supposed to come all the way to the top. It doesn't on mine. It doesn't come all the way up to here like it's supposed to. It only goes halfway. So it never seals like it's supposed to. So there's a defect right there. Because that's as far as it'll go. It won't go up all the way. So I think that's a problem. Now, a lot of people said, when I watched the YouTube video yesterday, the lady said that she's had a lot of her clients that have felt that same thing, that their lids have not been working. Their Instant Pots have not been working like they should. So I'm not the only one. There's a lot of them out there. So there's got to be some improvement made with that. And I also do not like this part. I don't like it because you're too close to this here. And you got to stand back and use a spoon. You got to use a spoon to vent, vent it. And I don't like that. But with a quick cooker, you've got a lot of distance between your where you push the button and where the steam comes out. That's the way that the Instant Pot should have been made. You know something? I think that Pampered Chef outdid themselves when they did that, because they did a much better job on theirs than the Instant Pot company did on their Instant Pot. By far, they did a much better job. I think I'm going to stop this now. I'm going to clear this because it has a lot to do, and I'm going to bring this down because it's pretty much all drained out in, before 20 minutes anyway. Okay, now it says to remove lid. Remove lid and stir in spinach and chickpeas. Let sit for a few minutes to allow spinach time to wilt, and season with salt and pepper and serve immediately. All right. Because you want it to wilt. Okay. This is going to be hard because it's... There we go. All right, let's get that off of there. All right. Let me... Sticking to it there. Okay. Put this over here. And then I'll wash my hands over this side. Okay. Now, let that for a few minutes. Let's see what it says. Okay. And now I got to add my chickpeas. My chickpeas have already been rinsed and drained. Drained and rinsed, I should say. Now I'm going to sink dishes. And this is your one-pot Mediterranean quinoa with spinach and chickpeas. So this is a whole different meal. So I'm just going to let it go a little bit to get the, let it sit for a few minutes, it says, so you get your spinach wilted. That's going to take a little time, but when it wilts, then that'll be the meal. Wish now to use my saucepan, but I didn't know. I never know if it's going to fit into it or not. So I'd rather use the pot, have a bigger pot than what it calls for. If it's too big, oh well. You know, but it worked fine. You could still see inside of it. Let me throw this out. All right. Okay. So I think that's everything there is. Okay. And then it says to season with salt and pepper. Now we know I don't use pepper, but I do use salt. So I'll wait for this to let it sit a little bit and let the spinach wilt. I'll put that up. Put that up there. As soon as the spinach gets wilted, then I can season with salt and pepper, and I'll put this up on Facebook. What seasonings are in that? There's thyme. There's thyme in there. I've got only a half a teaspoon of the red pepper flakes. I did not want to put a whole teaspoon in because I don't like anything real hot, so I just cut it back to a half. So that's in there. Dried thyme's in there, and dried dill's in there. Now there's supposed to be green olives. I don't use green olives. I don't care for them too well, so I didn't put them in there. So that's one thing that I left out, was the green olives. And, of course, you know, I put less chili flakes, but you can put as much in as you want. Yes, you can. You certainly can. Yes, it is up on Pinterest. That's exactly where I found it at. And like I said, when you find a recipe up on Pinterest, feel free to tweak it any way you like, because you may not like what somebody else likes. I mean, the seasonings that somebody puts in there, you may not like that. You may leave something out. You know, like I left out the olives. I could put the olives in there, but I think it's okay without it. If you don't want to put the red pepper flakes, I wasn't going to, but I thought, well, maybe I'll put just a little bit. It might be okay with just a little bit. Not a whole substantial lot, because I'm not a person for liking real hot stuff. I don't care for real hot stuff. I'm waiting for this, letting sit for a little bit to get the spinach to wilt, because it's gonna take a little time to wilt, and then that's gonna be my meal for today. Right, good tip, thank you. But feel free to tweak the recipes any way you choose. I'm gonna go ahead and put some salt in here now, well, I think I'll let it wilt and then I'll put salt in there. Feel free to make the recipe any way you choose. Tweak it, because it's your own that way. You don't have to copy it completely, because like I said, everybody's tastes are different. Some people will like something that somebody else won't like. You know, like I will like something that maybe Alexis won't like, and she'll like something that I won't like. So you tweak it to your liking. You know, something that's in there that you don't like, leave it out. Or if you find something that maybe you want to substitute for something else, like when it calls for apple cider vinegar, I'll substitute lemon juice. I don't put apple cider vinegar in any of my foods because of the fermentation. So you have to be willing to tweak the recipe to suit yourself. Make it your own. I like a little spice, but not a whole heck of a lot. I don't like a lot, because what are we making today? We're making a one-pot Mediterranean quinoa with spinach and chickpea. It calls for 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 2 garlic cloves, minced, 1 small shallot. I didn't have a shallot, so I just used onion. I used part of a yellow onion. It was a pretty good size onion, so I cut it in half and then quartered it, and then used another part of the other quarter. Okay. A teaspoon of chili flakes, but I used half a teaspoon instead of a whole teaspoon, because I don't like anything real hot. A half a teaspoon of thyme, and a half a teaspoon of dried dill, a cup of uncooked quinoa, a cup of sliced green olives, which I didn't have the olives, but if you want to put olives in it, feel free to put olives in it, because I will post that on. I will post it up on Facebook, the recipe, just the way it is written. You feel free to adjust it to your liking. And I'll tell you if I omitted something. When I omit something in a recipe, I'll post that up there that I omit it. And a half a cup of chopped sun-dried tomatoes, a cup of vegetable broth, and a cup of water, or 2 or more broth. So I use 2 cups of broth instead of a cup of water. So 2 cups of broth, 1 cup of spinach chopped, which I just put in there, a 15-ounce can of chickpeas, which I drained those off, and salt and pepper to taste. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. I'm letting this spinach wilt a little bit. Those that just came in, if you want to see what this looks like, and I'm going to go ahead and there. See, that's what it looks like. It looks pretty doggone good. Looks very appetizing. I'm going to put a little salt in there. What did I put? Okay, and I'm not going to put too much. It's hard to know exactly how much to put in. I don't want to put too much. Probably easier just to do it this way so you don't get too much, because if you put too much in, you can put it in, but you can't take it out. And I've done that already. Poured one time, I had salt, and you know what happened? The lid came off the salt shakers. Well, so much for that food. I couldn't eat it after that. I could not eat it. So there you go. I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it up on my counter so you can see what it looks like. This is pretty much, it's almost done. I'm going to go ahead and shut this thing off. There we go. There we go. There, now you can see it. Let me put this up just a little bit. There we go. Now you can see it. You can see inside the pot. This looks very appetizing. Doesn't that look good? Look at that. A very good meal. And I'll be able to have several meals out of this. Yeah, Alexis's links are in her profile. If you want to follow her, or you want to become a host, or you want to be a consultant, just contact her and she'll get you set up. I was a host of a party back last month, and over $1,000 came in of sales. So I earned $430 in free prizes. So I'm waiting to get those. I'll be anxious because I'm getting some good stuff. The quick cooker and a lot of things. It's on exactly what's on my list right now. And I don't want to tell you everything because I want to keep it a surprise. Because the reason for that is I want to keep it a surprise because I plan on scoping when the box comes. So if I surprise you by not telling you what's everything in there, then you'll be surprised when I open it up. And I know I'm going to have fun because it's going to be more than one box. And it's sure shooting it'll be more than one box. So those that just come in here, this is what doesn't that look nice? Look at that. It's a Mediterranean dish. Well, you know, I make myself hungry by when I have this food. Let me get a fork or a spoon. I can get a spoon. I want to try this. I want to see what it tastes like. This is actually pretty good. And it's not real hot. I can taste a little bit of the heat, but it's not so much that it's burning my mouth. Because I didn't want to put a lot of heat in this. I don't like a lot of heat. So cutting it back by half really helped. Okay. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. 2 garlic cloves. And I used my garlic press for that. 1 small shallot, which I didn't have a shallot. So I had to use a yellow onion. And it was a large onion, so I just cut it up and made it smaller, about 1/4 and a little bit more. And it called for a teaspoon of chili flakes. I don't like a lot of heat. I did buy some chili flakes, so I thought, I'm going to cut it back to half. So I just put half a teaspoon in, and it's plenty. There's a little bit of heat there, but not so much so that my mouth is burning, because I don't like a lot of hot stuff. And you can do the same thing. Feel free to maybe even more than a teaspoon if you want. Although I think a teaspoon is sufficient. It's going to make it plenty hot. I probably could have cut back even another 1/4, maybe just a quarter teaspoon. But it's okay. A half a teaspoon is fine. A half a teaspoon of dried thyme. A half a teaspoon of dried dill. 1 cup of uncooked quinoa. And quinoa is organic. It called for a cup of sliced green olives. I didn't put green olives in it. I didn't have any green olives. I went to the store today, but I didn't like the green olives I saw, so I didn't put those in there. Half a cup of chopped sun-dried tomatoes. 1 cup of vegetable broth, and it says, and a cup of water or more broth. So instead of putting 1 cup of broth and 1 cup of water, I used 2 cups of broth, because I had 2 cups left in the refrigerator that I wanted to use, so I put that in there. And 1 cup of spinach. You just saw me, that was chopped. I put that in there. 1 15-ounce can of chickpeas, and then salt and pepper to taste. That's basically what it is. And this is what it looks like. Doesn't that look nice? Look at that. And it's, it makes several meals. No, and I probably should have. It was organic. I didn't rinse it. No, and I should have. Everybody keeps asking me that. I keep forgetting that. I'm not sure if you have to or not. Sometimes they say you do. Sometimes they say you don't. I think I looked at the reviews and there wasn't anything on there, but it's up to you. I think it's up to you if you want to rinse the quinoa or not. I sure did. That's why I'm in here. Yesterday, my son showed up about, I would say 4 o'clock. I don't know the exact time because I didn't pay attention. He rang the doorbell. My Chewy happened to be at the window, and he saw him coming, and he started barking. He goes to the front door. Well, I figured my son was coming, so he rang the doorbell, and he says, Mom, open up the garage door, because he wanted to see what kind of fittings it would take. So he went and saw it, and he looked, and he says, oh, sure enough, it needs to be replaced. So I jumped in his van, and we went to Home Depot and brought it home, and we had to get the other one out of here first. And that was a struggle because we couldn't get the water out of it. There was so much sediment built up at the bottom, it wouldn't come out the bottom, because we had the hose plug onto the bottom of it, stretch out into the driveway. It wouldn't work. So he said, well, I'm going to have to walk it out of here. So he walked it back and forth and got it outside, turned it on its side on the driveway, and then released it from the top, and the water's all gone. So that's the only way you get the water out, you know, because you can't throw that out unless the water's out. He'll come back and get it and dispose of it because it's right on the edge of my driveway right now. It's not hurting anything, but it's sitting there with a rock underneath it so it doesn't roll all over the place. But then after he got that out, then he had to move my washing machine to get the other new hot water heater in there because it sits in between my washer and dryer. And after he got in there, then it took a little time to get the thing hooked up. And when he got it hooked up, after he got it all hooked up, he says, uh-oh, he says, the hot water is leaking. And he got it as tight as he possibly could get it. And it just kept on leaking. It was just a slow leak. But then finally it stopped. And he says, Mom, just keep monitoring it. And he says, if it keeps on leaking, let me know. He says, and I will come and I will put some plumber's tape, some white tape around the threads. So I got up. When I got up this morning, I monitored. I took my shower. Well, actually, I went out before I took my shower after I got up, and it was not leaking. It had stopped leaking overnight, I think. So it stopped. Oh my goodness, my light's flickering. Anyway, it stopped leaking. So then I took a shower, and then I went out and checked it again because I thought, well, maybe after I took a shower and used the hot water, that might have caused it to leak some more. No, it didn't leak. It's not leaking now because when I come home from Walmart, I went and checked it again. When I got home, it's not leaking because he had put a Scott towel and wrapped it around the threads. Plus, I put one of my bath towels on top of the water heater, so if it did start leaking, it wouldn't run into the electrical part of it because that can really cause problems. But the towel is dry, and so is the Scott towel. So there you go. It finally settled itself, and it's working fine. It's not leaking now, and I'll just keep monitoring it. But that's how it went, and it took him 2 hours to get that hooked up. Yeah, you know, I'm glad I got it fixed. And I didn't have to pay $1,200 and some odd dollars from Home Depot or $800 and some odd dollars from Lowe's either. They get you coming and going. They really don't care. Yeah, I know. Thank God is right. Because when the lady at Home Depot told me she had figured one that was self-cleaning. I guess they do have self-cleaning ones out there. But you know something? Does anybody figure on taking every year, going into your hot water heater and getting the sediment out and draining it every year? Nobody thinks about that. I've never done it. I didn't know you had to. So my son says, well, you got to be careful. No, that's what I said. Nobody really does it. So the sediment builds up over time. But the lady that quoted me the price quoted me one that's self-cleaning. And that's why she come up with $1,200 some. I thought, gee, God, that's expensive. I says, I can't do that. I don't care if it is self-cleaning. Oh, man. Oh, you're a clean person? Well, you know, I told my son, I says, if you feel that it should be a year from now that it should be drained out, just come over here and let me know that you want to drain it out. We'll hook the hose up and drain it out and have to, you don't have to shut the water off, of course, and then shut the electric off and start all over again. Yeah, I know. That, you know, I was here, I'd been here 12 years, and that water heater was in the house when I got here. Now, how old it was when I got here, I don't know if it was brand new or not. I have no idea. It may just have been put in. But anyway, I never drained it the whole time. I didn't know anything about it. And I asked my ex-husband this morning, I says, well, what causes the sediment to build up? He says, you kind of get lime and particles into the water, and that's what causes the sediment. But you can get way so much sediment that it gets to the point where the water won't drain out. You know, and that's what causes it to rust through and leak. But don't ever get to the point where it starts flooding your place. That's what happened in my rental on the one side. The renter did not call until her garage was flooded. And then I had to replace it. And it was $275 then. And that was just a few years ago. So it's really gone up since then. But this was just starting to get wet underneath the water heater. I thought, I'm not letting it go anymore. Going to get taken care of now because it's only going to get worse. It wasn't going to get any better. So now I've got a new water heater. I don't have to worry about it leaking underneath. Just have to watch it on top by where he hooked it up to make sure it doesn't leak up there. If it does, he'll come and put the tape on it and take care of it for me. But, you know, it's perfect, you know, and I'm so thankful. Got nice hot water, you know, and the water's nice and cold, too, to drink from. So all is good. I saved I saved a lot of money from both places. I don't think they liked it that I walked away and didn't buy anything from them. You know, didn't let them deliver it, didn't let them install it. But, you know, what the hey? I wasn't in the mood to pay that kind of money. I mean, I'm not rich. I'm not loaded. You know, and to me that's insane to want to pay that in the first place. You know, I think they do that to everybody, but especially to women. You know, they think that, oh, they can take advantage of us women. We're not going to say anything, you know, that we're like, we're patsies, so to speak. You know, they can tell us anything and we'll just fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. Not this gal. I'm 71 years of age and I've been around the block a few times, so I know not to fall for everything I hear. So I make sure that I have it done right. So when I called my son, he says, oh, your water heater's going bad? I says, yeah, it's leaking underneath the tank. He says, well, we'll replace it. So he came yesterday, could see what it needed, went to Home Depot and picked it up, brought it back. And he was so nice, too. A guy at Home Depot, we had put it on one of those carts, and my son was trying to get it into the van because he's a painting contractor, and he had to put the box up on top of his paint. Well, somebody was coming out of Home Depot, and he says, I can help you with that. I can see to it that you get it in there. And that was so nice of him to do that. He didn't have to do that, but he did. So there are good people in the world that are willing to take the time to help others. You know, and that's why I come in here. I want to help others. I want to teach you what I've learned using Pampered Chef tools. Because Pampered Chef tools are number one. If you haven't got Pampered Chef tools, get them. You're never going to go back to anything else. A lot of now, of course, this is not a Pampered Chef tool. But I've got spatulas that are, the tool holder is a Pampered Chef tool. This is Pampered Chef. Of course, the pot is Pampered Chef. The garlic press is Pampered Chef. Just get Pampered Chef and you'll never go back. I'm going to have to get ready to eat this before it gets cold, but I want to show you one more time what this looks like. Isn't that pretty? It's a real nice flavor, and it's not real hot either. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. This is a quinoa we know will expand. So you put a cup in there and it really expands. So that's why I use this instead of the sauce pot, because I thought it would expand too much and I couldn't get it all in there. Yeah, me too. I'm just waiting to get the new ones. I'm waiting for them for Alexis to get notification on when the stuff's been shipped out. Huh. I guess with mine, they're going to have to box so many of them up. they're waiting until they get all boxed up and then shipping them out. So, you know, it is what it is. We'll get them in time. We just have to be patient, I guess, and wait for them. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go now so I can eat this because I want to eat it. Or I want to take a picture of it for Facebook and then go ahead and post the recipe up on Facebook the way it's written, and then I'll tell you what I put in it and what I didn't. And feel free to make it yourself. I certainly will. And I'm going to put this down just a little bit more so you can see what's in the pot and you don't always see me, because you don't have to see me, because this is going to be the closing shot. Oh, you're so welcome. This is a closing shot. So I hope your day goes grand, and that you're blessed in every way possible. And until we meet again, I've thanked all the live viewers as well as the replays viewers for coming in here. So until we meet again, take care. God bless. Love you all, and bye-bye. You're welcome.